Hello, this is Yvette of Honey Deep, Honey Why, with this week's episode of Minutes to Insight, where I pull one fortune from all the fortunes I've written since the last winter solstice and reflect on what message this fortune has for me today. And if you enjoy these videos, please do not hesitate to like, subscribe, and share. All right. Let me try again. I gotta admit, I cheated. I actually started recording this before and I pulled a fortune and I read it and yeah, I just didn't feel it. So I said, just let it go. Let's pull another one and see if I respond differently this time. So here we go. It's a lot like life. If you get one ice cream flavor and you don't really enjoy it, you can give yourself permission to just put the ice cream cone down. I know this is hard, but just let it go and get another one. I mean, do you really want to waste all that wonderful fat and sugar space in your diet on a flavor that you are not totally grooving on? I don't. Of course, I've never had a flavor that was so uninspiring I didn't want to eat it, but life is still going. Maybe I will. Today's or this moment's fortune that I pulled is from January 20th of this year. Your spirit speaks to you in feelings of excitement and love. When you are guided by her, she grows strong. Here we go. There you are. Nice. Your spirit speaks to you in feelings of excitement and love. When you are, let's see, I'm trying to read this backwards. When you are, oh my gosh, guided by her. When you are guided by her, she grows strong. Please forgive that. I was like reading through the paper and I was like, whoa, it looks like Cyrillic writing, in Russian. Your spirit speaks to you in feelings of excitement and love. And when you are guided by her, she grows strong. This is awesome that I got this message because this has been such a powerful reprogramming that I have been undergoing in my life. I grew up in a family with a really intense work ethic. Both my parents are always working. My mom is a homemaker and she worked all the time, cleaning, feeding us and taking care of us, and just was always moving. And my father as well is a laborer. And growing up, he was working 80 plus hours a week for decades. And even now, he's almost 70 and will work 60-hour weeks still, and considers a 40-hour week to be a breeze. So, whenever I start to complain in my head, like, oh, it's a 40-hour week, I always kind of temper my complaints and be like, my dad, it's all perspective. My dad feels like he's got so much free time if he's only working 40 hours. And so I have to admit, I don't have a lot of sympathy for people who complain, including myself. But that being said, as a result of this, this idea that things should feel good and that I should enjoy my life has been quite a revolutionary one. And as a result, you know, I grew up squashing my feelings, and I was quite depressed as a child and growing up. And so my spirit had a real challenging time reaching me. Hearing the message and the call of my spirit was like, it's like it had to scream through concrete to reach me. And it was very, very hard to know what my heart wanted, what was I feeling, what were these emotions about. I've had to spend many years just like journaling, journaling and observing and trying to make sense of dramas, personal life dramas. Like, why is it like this? Why do I feel this way? What is this overwhelm apart about? What is it that I need to do? Like, what is the goal here in my life? You know, what is success? And these are all questions I'm still answering. Um, but one thing that I've been working on, probably since a little before my Saturn return, which was around, I think the rumblings really were, my life was really crumbling apart at 26. And the journey that ensued, wow. I'm so blessed. I'm so blessed to, and I have to be grateful to myself because I made it my priority. When I felt my life falling apart, it made it my priority to fight for happiness. And of course, that was very clumsy at first because really happiness is it's making a choice. I'm going to be happy and allowing the goodness, and you're like allowing yourself to groove on the goodness of life. And I didn't understand that. I did not understand how to be happy. I loved peaks. I loved having peak experiences, and peak experiences are great, but ultimately having peak experiences mean you have the trough experiences. So I was like, boom, 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 boom. And really the happiness came from now, the happiness that I have now, it comes from like just flowing. And that's what I'm learning now. But back when I was 26, didn't understand that at all. But what I did get in the breakdown of my life and my personal situations, and discovering how, and like becoming very conscious of how very unhappy, miserable, dissatisfied I was. It was wretched. It was wretched. I had my youth, my intelligence, my beauty, and none of it meant anything because I wasn't in touch with my heart and my spirit. And so I often didn't pick up on the excitement and the love. So what I'm coming around to is that your spirit speaks to you in feelings of excitement and love. Whenever you feel that excitement and that love, like pay attention, pay really close attention. Get really quiet and notice like what is triggering this excitement and this love, and then start to go after it. And maybe it's not possible at first, but you work your way. So for me, when I was 26 and I was realizing how miserable and unhappy I was, one of the first things, let me see, there were a couple things, but the one thing I will reflect on right now is I heard a song, and it was from Built to Spill, The Weather. I've written about it on my own blog, Honey Deep, Honey Wide. And I heard that song, and something in my heart like woke up, and I didn't really understand what it was about, but it had to do with this feeling, this desire to go west. And I'd never gone west before. And I'd even heard people talking about how great California was. And I was like, whatever, so trendy. Everybody wants to go to California. I had no interest in going to California. And I heard that song, and something in me felt such a hunger to go west, to see California, to travel. And when I looked at my life at that moment, this was not possible. I was trapped in a career I didn't really want. I was getting my certification to do this career that I didn't really want. And I was in a relationship that I didn't really want, that I couldn't travel in anyway, because he wasn't able to. And all of these things where it was, I just felt like there was lead, like heavy weights, just attached to my feet. I couldn't do anything. But I felt that excitement when that song played. And yeah, don't you want to be outside in the cool breeze? And I'm not remembering all the words right now, but it's like, don't you want to be out there? It's like, and I was like, yes, that's what I want. And so excitement, when your spirit has, when you haven't been listening to your spirit, it might be when you first hear it, it's answering something. You hear a song and it jumps up, and there's a feeling of longing. Longing is your spirit like saying, hey, can you feel the ache of this longing? Like, it's hard. It can be hard to be in a state of longing. I have definitely experienced it. But if you're patient and you listen to your longing, you're going to get a lot of information. And so, for instance, you might feel longing for a person that you can't have, you know, maybe they are not interested in you, or maybe they are in another relationship. Whatever the reason may be, you just feel this ache and this longing for this person. If you can have the patience to sit with that longing and to question that longing about what it is about, you have the opportunity to learn maybe something that person embodies is something that you hunger for to embody or realize in yourself. And if you are realizing that that person has something that you want to embody in yourself, that means it's in there, it's inside, but you haven't realized it yet. But when you look out into the world and you see this person, you get so homesick for that part of you that you may not have ever even realized has been a part of you all your life. And so what you need to do is to start questioning, like, what makes me think I'm not like that person? What makes me think I can't do the things that they do? Maybe you admire, I think maybe they're, I don't know, some kind of athlete, and you know that you're never going to be an athlete like that. Well, okay, but maybe you have to keep on breaking it down. It's like, okay, well, maybe it's not physically possible for you to do the things that they do. But when you think about it, it's like, okay, but what is it about that physical activity that you love. And maybe it's that power in your body and the sense of freedom and grace and beauty, and you love that in the other person. You, even though you may never be the kind of athlete they are, you can embody freedom, grace, strength in yourself. That's just one example. There could be other things like admiring somebody's ability at writing and being beautiful in their messages, or the way they express themselves with art. Or maybe you really are turned on by the way this person is a leader. Sit with it. Sit with your longing. Sit with that attraction and how uncomfortable it is. It is so uncomfortable to feel desire for somebody and it can't be requited. But do not despair, okay? Just sit with it and question this longing. What is the essence of what you're longing for? People are mirrors for us. And so often we get frustrated or disheartened or dispirited because it seems like we can't have what it is we want, but we don't really understand what it is we want. And we don't really understand that even if you could get that person, what you want would still elude you if you don't understand the essence of what you want. See, we think it's out there, but it's always in here. We think it's about him, about her, but it's always about me. It's always about you. And so if you can allow these feelings of excitement and love, if you can allow yourself to feel them, you will, and to sit with them and to be patient and to ask them questions. Like, why do I feel so excited when I hear this song? Why do I feel this sadness that I think my dreams can never come true when I don't even understand what my dreams are? Like, why? Just ask the questions over and over again. Talk to yourself, journal, record yourself, whatever it takes. It's an investigation. You are essentially a walking mystery. You have dreams that you've never even realized you had. And it's all operating in your unconscious. And that's not going to do you any, you're not going to be able to do anything about that. You'll just be operating in the shadow realm, just bumping against people and situations and being like, why do I feel so unfulfilled? Because you haven't spent the time with yourself. You haven't been patient enough to listen to your heart. When you feel the merest flutter of excitement, put on your attention cap. Just zone in, like be like, oh, there's a clue in this mystery that I am, this walking mystery. And pay attention, because it's gonna take patience, and it's gonna take a lot of observation. It's gonna take a lot of questions, because initially when you start to pay attention, you'll be like, oh, I want this, and that's leading you, it's getting you closer. But you have to be patient. You have to keep asking questions, because what you think you want may very well just be a breadcrumb to get you a little bit closer. And don't worry if you get it wrong, if you think, oh, it's about that person, or it's about that accomplishment or that achievement, and then you realize it's not. Like, often that can be disillusioning, but don't worry about it. Just keep on following the breadcrumbs, because it's the whole journey that gives you clues along the way. There's an unfolding unfolding mystery going on here. And it can only unfold if you are guided by spirit. If you are guided by spirit and the love and the excitement that she speaks to you with. And I say she because it's a very feminine kind of thing. It doesn't come to your door and like hand you a letter and say, this is the way it is. You must do A and then B and then C in this amount of time. It's like, no, it's not defined like that. It is a much more flowing, it's a much more intuitive process. Now, if you ignore the feelings of love and excitement, your spirit grows weaker and it stops talking to you. Except maybe every once in a while, it might just whisper something. And you've gotten so good at not listening, you completely, it passes you by. You have to answer the call. You must answer the call. In order to feed your spirit, you have to answer the call. Because only a strong spirit has the ability to guide you through all kinds of crazy situations, through disillusionment, through heartache, through the experience of failure, through the experience of betrayal. The spirit, when it's strong, can overcome and rise above these things. But if you want it to be strong, you must feed it. And how do you feed it? You listen to your spirit. You feed it with attention. When disappointments come, and disappointments always come, you are resilient. Your spirit is resilient because it has trust. It has trust and faith in you that you will follow it. I love this one. And I love how today is a perfect example of this fortune. I pulled a fortune earlier, and I'm telling you, I was not in love with it. I started talking about it, and I mean, I love the fortune in and of itself. Like all of these fortunes that I've written have come out of an experience where I'm like, whoa, that's what I need to pay attention to today. This is what the universe wants me to know. And so every message is special, but just that particular message at that moment, I was like, I'm not feeling it. And so I let my spirit guide me. And what happened? I pulled this message and I'm like, ooh, yes, I want to talk about this today. So stay aware, my friends, and pay attention. Oh, do us all a favor and pay radical attention to any flutter of love and excitement that you feel. That is the language of spirit, the language of your heart. And when you listen, the message gets louder and more insistent, and you will be blessed. You will be blessed, and we all will be blessed. Thank you so much. Remember to like, subscribe, and share, and have a wonderful week cultivating that relationship with spirit, listening to the love and excitement that is inside your heart. Mwah.